Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to do the alpine stitch, which is this section here. This particular project that I'm showing you the stitch on, if I just zoom out a little bit, is our mixed toffee cowl. Currently it's a cowl on our Sunflower Cottage crochet community group on Facebook, so if you'd like to join in then please feel free. Otherwise today's focus is just going to be on this rather pretty alpine stitch. We do have other projects with this stitch, such as I happen to have one here, a coffee beanie cozy, which we're just busy writing up the pattern for. So it's a really versatile, really nice stitch, and because it's quite so thick, I mean, I know there's little gaps there, but it is a lovely warm stitch, so it's perfect for the cowl. The alpine stitch is actually worked with multiples of 2. Today we're going to be focusing on in the round, but if you wanted to work on a flat, your first stitch and your last stitch of your row would be just plain double crochet. Okay, so to make the alpine stitch in the round, you can see here I've got a little sample that I've started working up for you, and I've got an even number of stitches all the way around. If you're doing the cowl, for the cowl you'll have 112 stitches, so that's fine. And you can see I've started with my foundation rows that you need in order to build up the alpine stitch. So I've got my row of double crochet, US terms, so it's triple crochet in the UK, and then I've also got a row of single crochet or double crochet in the UK. So we're about to start row 3 of the alpine stitch. Now, in order to do this, we start with either a chain 3 or a chain 2 or an alternate chain 2. Now, I prefer the alternate chain 2 because I think it gives a less gapier look. So if you don't want to chain 2, what you can do is do a single crochet and chain 1. And then that just means that this bottom section here is less gappy by the time that you've finished. So that counts as a stitch. So for the next section of the alpine stitch, we'll be working alternatively between front post double crochets in the double crochet from the first round of the alpine stitch, and then just doing a double crochet into the single crochet. So we're going to be going down an extra row for one stitch, coming back up to the previous row for the next stitch, down, up, all the way along the row. So front post double crochet in the next stitch. So we need to be looking, you can see that stitch there goes down in a line here, so we'll front post around the second one. So a front post, you take it around the post of that double crochet, in from the front, around the back, and poke your hook out the front, and you just work your double crochet as you would ordinarily. So we double crochet into that one, and then we need to double crochet into the single crochet next. Now if you have a look at the back, you can see where the double crochet is. We're going to skip this stitch, so we don't work it in front, otherwise we're going to end up increasing the number of stitches we have, and we don't want to be doing that. So if you get stuck and you're wondering which stitch your double crochet into the single crochet needs to go in, just have a little look behind your front post double crochet and make sure you've skipped a stitch. And then we work a normal double crochet, and then we need to do a front post double crochet around the next double crochet from the previous round. So you can see we front post around that one, we're going to leave that one alone, and we'll do a front post double crochet around the next one. because again we don't want to be increasing our stitches. So just a quick check, that's where the double crochet, front post double crochet goes. So we need to double crochet into the next single crochet from the previous row. So single crochet. So you can see where we've done our front posts, these stitches are sticking out. So we need to not work that one, but do a front post around the next one. And then double crochet into the single crochet that's just to the side of that from the previous row. And we follow that pattern all the way around. So we front posted this stitch here, we're going to leave that stitch alone, and we're going to front post the next stitch from the first round. And then if we just check, this is where the front post double crochet would be if we'd have gone through the single crochet. So we need to skip that stitch and double crochet into the next single crochet from the previous row. And then we'll skip this double crochet from the first round and we'll front post double crochet into the next stitch. So you can kind of see how the pattern is. So if we count the double crochet row as row 1, the single crochet is row 2, so we front post double crochet around row 1, then we do the next stitch in row 2, row 1, row 2, but we make sure we skip a stitch between each one on the row, if that makes sense. So we've worked a front post double crochet into that stitch, we skip the next one from the first row and we do a front post double in the second stitch along. If we move that out, we've done a single crochet here, we need to skip this one and work a single crochet into this one. And we follow that pattern all the way around. I hope I've explained that okay. It's quite hard to put into words what you need to be doing for this one, because you are going up and down the rows, the previous rows that you've worked. So I'll go to the end of this row and then we'll work the next round. So because we have an even number of stitches to start with, we will finish with a front post, because our chain, alternate chain 2 or our chain 2 counts as a stitch. So that keeps the consistency of the pattern there for you, if you can see that. So the next row is quite simple. We chain 1 and we single crochet all the way around. So between every textured row, if you like, where we've alternated between the front posts and the normal double crochet, we need to be doing a row of single crochets. In the next row, we need to be alternating where we put our front post and our standard double crochets. So the stitches that are sticking up above those ones, we're going to be doing just a normal double crochet into the single crochet from the row that we've just finished. With the stitches you can see here that are sunk back because they were where we did the normal double crochets on the previous but one round, we need to be doing our front posts there, because what that does is it'll just pop out. If you can see here, it just pops out for the next teardrop or snowdrop or whatever it is you think it looks like, just to give the effect of the alpine stitch. So again, we need to chain one, because we're not starting with a double crochet, we need to start with a front post this time. So we'll chain one, and this is the one that we're working into, because you can see it's between the two that are standing up. So we need to go down 2 rows and front post double crochet around that stitch, and we follow the pattern from there that we did in the previous round of texture. So we'll skip the next single crochet and we'll work a normal double crochet into the next one, which is just above where that front post was. Now the double crochet that's set back a little bit, we need to be doing a front post double crochet around that stitch. So we'll do that, and then we'll double crochet into the single crochet from the previous round above where the front post was. So once you get onto the 3rd round here, it's much easier to see what you're doing. So we front post there, so we need to single crochet just above this front post double here. So we'll do a double crochet into there, and we'll need to front post double crochet around this double crochet from 2 rows below, and a normal double crochet into the single crochet above the next front post double from the previous round, and we'll do that all the way around. And then when we get to the end, we started with a front post, so we need to make sure we finish with a double crochet in that single crochet from the previous round and slip stitch to the first front post double crochet. And then we basically repeat that pattern. So the next round is just a round of single crochets all the way around. We'll join, and then we need to start with a double crochet into the single crochet from the round that we've just done for the next row. So you either chain 2 or do your alternate chain 2, and then we follow the pattern because that counts as the double crochet for this first stitch. So we need to front post treble around the front post double around that sunken stitch, and put a double crochet in the single crochet just above that front post from the previous rounds. And that is pretty much all there is to the alpine stitch. So as long as you're alternating which stitches you do your front post double crochet on and which stitches you do your double crochet into the single crochet from the previous row, you can make it as big as you like. It's really, really pretty, and you can see the effect pretty much straight away. So that's the Alpine stitch for you. I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today. If you would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do so, and if you click the bell you'll be able to get notifications whenever we upload a new video. If you're joining in with the CAL that we've got going on our Facebook community page, which is Sunflower Cottage Crochet Community, please do share your mix with us. We'd love to see what colours you're using and how yours turns out. And yeah, have a lovely weekend or a lovely day, whatever you're doing today, guys. Bye.